but my full thing's messing up for some reason. What's going on, everyone? So I am here with JP OReilly. What's going on, man?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
So you had a rough match last month. Actually, this month.
Yeah, I did.
So what were your thoughts on your opponent, Akira?
Well, I knew what I was getting into. He is a very well decorated wrestler in all aspects when it comes to technical wrestling, when it comes to uh, deathmatch wrestling, hardcore wrestling, stuff like that. Uh, he specializes in deathmatch wrestling. If you watch his stuff on ICW, that kind of just points you in the direction of what he's capable of. And honestly, I just kind of overestimated myself, unfortunately.
So Scotty promised you someone after that match. But as some of my fans saw on here, that he turned his back against his word. You got anything to say on that?
I'm not surprised. I'm in fact, I should have seen it coming earlier than I thought. I knew his words didn't mean anything while he had me tied up in the ring up against the ropes. I just thought for a small sliver of hope that, someone that's a part of this community, the deathmatch community, uh, much like many others, would keep their promise. And unfortunately, he seems to be the sour apple of that bunch.
So I just kind of said a little something. I don't know if you would agree with it. I don't think it's that they don't think you're ready. I think Tremont's just the chicken.
That's a very tough claim to make. I don't think Tremont's chicken at all. Uh, Matt Tremont is the most decorated deathmatch professional wrestler in the U.S. today. I know for a fact he would have no problem, throwing me around and doing the unholy things that he's known well for. And if he had it his way, I'm sure without a question of a doubt, he would step toe to toe to me. But unfortunately, Scotty going against his word uh, was not able to hold that end of his deal. So now he's given me another poor excuse of someone to deal with.
So what are your thoughts on your new opponent?
So Declan Grant uh, is quite the character. He is one of Matt Tremont's top prospects in H2O. Declan Grant was trained by the notorious 187 Homicide and Nick Gage. So most of his training comes from two of the most deadliest hardcore deathmatch wrestlers that there are today. I mean, you got the King, the ultimate, MDK, pretty much as a name for himself. Homicide, he's been wrestling longer than probably I've been alive. With that combined amount of skill and training between those two people, I know Declan Grant is not a force to be taken lightly, much just like Akira. But after having the confrontation or the encounter that I did with Akira, I kind of am preparing myself to be more prepared against Declan for the anniversary show.
So as you mentioned, he's had a lot of different training. The first ever real match I've seen you in was that barbed wire death match with Mason X.
Feels like forever ago.
Yeah. So, do you think you're gonna take a little bit out of those matches and try to train a little more? Do you think you're gonna be able to make that 2-0 thing into a 2-1?
At this point, the record doesn't even matter. Numbers mean nothing to me at this point. What matters to me at this point is proving what it takes to be amongst the guys that I have wrestled over the course of the last couple months alone, let alone last several years. I've been wrestling for 7 years, going on 8. I've been doing hardcore style stuff uh, for about 5 or 6 years now. To the capacity that I have been doing it this past year alone is nothing of even close to what I've done in the past. Uh, my first death match was in one of the most notorious death match companies in the world for IWA Mid South. Um, and if it wasn't for that, wouldn't have piqued my interest and perseverance to go towards doing it more and more and becoming amongst part of that large community of deathmatch guys that one day I want to be standing amongst, essentially.
Okay. Well, thanks again, JP, for the interview. I hope you have an amazing night, man, and good luck with your match.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.